CFA Franc. Economic Control and Controversies. Welcome to another episode of Chronicles, where we delve into significant financial arrangements that have shaped the economic landscape. In this episode, we turn our attention to the CFA Franc, a currency arrangement used by several countries in West and Central Africa. Join us as we explore the origins, features, and controversies surrounding this monetary system. The CFA Franc, which stands for Communauté Financière Africaine or African Financial Community, was established in 1945 as a result of agreements between France and its former colonies in Africa. Initially, the currency was pegged to the French franc and later to the euro. Today, it is used by 14 countries, including Benin, Burkina Faso, Ivory Coast, Mali, Senegal, and Togo. The CFA Franc arrangement has several key features. It is a currency union that promotes monetary stability and facilitates economic integration among member countries. The Central African CFA Franc, XAF, is used by 6 countries in Central Africa, while the West African CFA Franc, XOF, is used by 8 countries in West Africa. The two currencies are interchangeable at a fixed exchange rate. Proponents argue that the CFA Franc has provided stability to member countries, enabling them to maintain lower inflation rates and benefit from increased trade and investment. It has also facilitated economic cooperation within the region, as businesses can operate across borders with a shared currency. The CFA Franc arrangement has also faced criticism and controversies. One of the main criticisms is that it perpetuates a form of economic dependence on France, as the French treasury holds the foreign reserves of member countries. Critics argue that this limits the monetary sovereignty of African nations and hinders their ability to pursue independent economic policies. Another point of contention is the fixed exchange rate between the CFA franc and the euro. The link to the euro exposes member countries to external shocks, such as changes in European monetary policy. Some argue that this arrangement benefits France more than the African countries, as it makes their exports less competitive and hampers their economic development. There have been claims that France, as the former colonial power and a key partner in the CFA Franc arrangement, has certain influence and control over the economic activities of the member countries. One aspect that has been mentioned is the suggestion that France can veto or influence sales of major assets or resources to other countries. However, it's important to note that the specific mechanisms and extent of such influence can vary and are subject to debate. While there is no formal provision that explicitly grants France the power to veto sales to other countries, critics argue that France's economic and political influence in the CFA Franc nations can allow it to exert pressure or influence over major transactions. This is often seen in sectors such as natural resources, infrastructure, or strategic industries where French companies may have significant investments or interests. However, it is worth mentioning that these claims of France's ability to veto sales or exert control are not universally accepted and can be seen as part of broader discussions on economic relations and power dynamics between former colonial powers and their former colonies. The extent of France's influence over specific transactions and economic decisions can vary depending on various factors such as political dynamics, economic interests, and the specific agreements in place. Overall, while allegations of France's ability to veto sales to other countries have been made, the specific mechanisms and degree of influence are complex and can vary depending on the context and specific circumstances. It is important to note that the extent of France's control and influence over the CFA Franc nations is a complex and nuanced topic. Different perspectives exist, and there are ongoing discussions about the need for reforms to increase the autonomy and economic sovereignty of the member countries. On the other hand, supporters of the CFA Franc highlight its role in maintaining monetary stability and fostering regional integration. They argue that the arrangement has contributed to economic growth, attracted foreign investment, and facilitated cross-border trade within the region. Additionally, they contend that the guarantee of the French treasury provides a level of confidence and credibility to the currency. In recent years, there have been calls for reforming or even abandoning the CFA Franc arrangement. Some advocate for greater monetary autonomy for African countries and the establishment of a new regional currency. Others propose maintaining the CFA franc but revising its terms to address the concerns of critics. In 2019, the African Union announced that it would be working to create a new currency for Africa that would replace the CFA franc. However, it is not clear when this new currency will be introduced or if it will be successful. In the meantime, the CFA franc arrangement remains in place and it continues to give France a lot of control over the economies of the 14 countries that use it. As the debate surrounding the CFA franc continues, it raises broader questions about economic sovereignty, regional integration, and the balance between stability and autonomy. The future of the CFA franc remains uncertain, but one thing is clear. The discussion about this monetary arrangement reflects the complexities and aspirations of African nations as they strive for economic independence and prosperity. As we conclude this chapter of our chronicle, we reflect on the CFA franc arrangement and its impact on the economic landscape of West and Central Africa. The discussions and debates surrounding this monetary system highlight the ongoing quest for financial autonomy and inclusive development. Join us in our next episode as we continue to explore the intricate world of global finance and its profound effects on societies around the globe.